Really glad to introduce Jaren Hall. Super glad that you guys had a chance to talk to him before you talked to me, because I think when you just have a few minutes with him, you get a sense of the maturity and the confidence and the humility that he brings, which kind of won us over throughout the pre-draft process. I think when we had him in our formal interview in Indy, I was able to go out to his pro day with Coach Udinsky and just get around him and spend some more time with him. And I think one of the things that just, drips off is, what type of teammate he was when you watch him interact as his teammates are going through the bench press and he's front and center. When he makes a good throw, how they rally around him. There's just a certain it factor that you're always looking for in a quarterback, and I think it's kind of hard to quantify. So I was glad that you guys had that first interaction with him.
Hey, Mike, I was just curious, in the 2 years that you've been scouting quarterbacks with Kevin O'Connell, what's his influence been like, and how do you see that reflected in Jaren?
I feel like every meeting with Coach O'Connell is like a master's class for all the scouts when he's talking quarterback play. So the way he breaks down quarterback play, the way he breaks down pre-snap, and the amount of the level of sophistication, the level of competence that you need to play that position. I'm learning every day. I think we're all learning every day just how important that position is. And so when it's really special when there's kind of a unanimous, agreement on a player like Jaren that kind of ticks off a lot of the boxes that coach is looking for. And we're just excited to see how that plays going forward with Jaren.
Yeah, Mike, what were some of the things that you were looking for this year, based on your conversations with Kevin in terms of quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think the number one thing is we're looking to add players with that embody our core values as an organization, the resilience, we gave Jaren a chance. We set up a play for him at the combine in the interview where we knew his receiver ran the wrong route. And we were trying to give him a chance to say, this player was wrong, and all he was willing to say was, "I got to make it right." And so that level of accountability and problem solving, he has that knack for turnover avoidance. That high touchdown interception ratio and just the efficiency that he plays with are those types of qualities that we're looking for. Obviously, he has mobility. Not every play is blocked up perfectly. Not every route is run at the perfect depth and timing. And so Jaren has a knack for making his teammates right.
So he said that you guys were his first combine meeting. Is that just a coincidence of logistics, or does that reflect priorities at all? Or
that's mostly a scheduling thing, but maybe a little bit of karma for us.
Where do you see his baseball background translate, whether it's throwing on the move, just like things like that?
Right. I think, he talked about, unlocking his core and those types of things, which I didn't even think about. Playing center field, obviously the instinct, seeing the whole field, knowing what might happen and moving before knowing what to do with the ball before you have it in your hands. All those things translate. What I took from his baseball career personally was the knowledge that a lot of guys that play two sports will put one sport against the other, and he always found a way after finishing a baseball workout to come in and lift with the guys. Be a part of the football team even during the off season. Even when he wasn't the starter, it was important for him to be around the football team, so that by the time it was his team, he had that rapport with his teammates, and he was able to kind of take over that QB1 role, and kind of win the locker room over.
Mike, as part of this process, how important for you was just to set you and the staff was assessing the responsibility that he had in college on the field, pre-snap, post-snap?
Right, and I think that's a great question. The biggest thing that we need to make sure we're doing is give the credit to them for not penalizing players for not doing things that they weren't asked to do. And assessing post-season, the aptitude that he would have. I think, he even mentioned that he wasn't asked to do a lot of those line checks and make calls. So the humility to know that he doesn't know is just as important as, we've had players in the past that kind of lie through the pre-draft process, fake it until you make it. And with our staff of experts, they have a radar for that. Jaren never tried to pull that off. So just the fact that he was authentic and genuine kind of led us to believe, his aptitude scores on our psychological and testing were, off the charts. He really tested well in every appreciable metric that we can use. And we're thinking that the type of player that he is, whatever he wasn't asked to do, he'll be able to learn, and obviously learn from some of the best.
Mike, it seems like the NFL is pretty comfortable with undersized quarterbacks, obviously with Bryce Young going number one, but all of them have to find their own ways to overcome the height. I guess how do you see Jaren doing that, overcoming not being Kevin O'Connell sized, I guess?
Yeah, no, I think it's a combination of size and mobility and anticipating and finding windows. And so, one of the things that you could see at his pro day workout was just the mobility, the ease of which he moves, can find, get himself back on a platform where he can make an accurate throw. And you could see that on tape, and you could see it translate in the offseason. There are tall quarterbacks that get a lot of balls batted. And so it's not necessarily a product of height as much as a product of anticipation, preparedness, obviously getting to a point where you can throw, find a passing lane and deliver the ball with a purpose. And that's where I think Jaren excels.
Last couple for Mike. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Mike. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
All right, Mike, I'm gonna make you work more. How did you guys judge the injuries that he had? Just bad luck? Did things that need to be adjusted in terms of the way he plays? Anything you could report back on that to coaches and your other scouts?
Yeah, we did a thorough medical check on him like everybody else, and we're absolutely comfortable with where he is.